Jeffrey watches a Hamza video that encourages him to take action. He starts a YouTube channel, but he ends up copying Hamza a bit. Adonis knows that he should just be himself. I can't lie bro, I did copy Hamza a little bit in that last video. I do take a lot of inspiration from him, but I think I try to emulate his style a bit too much. So I'll make an effort to be more authentic. This video is an introduction to self-improvement. Everything we need to do on self-improvement as young men. Why young men? But I think we need as many spaces as we can have for young men improving themselves. As this is an introduction, I won't be going into that much detail about any of the parts of self-improvement. I'll just give you some of the reasons why we should be doing the things that I mention here. I'll be starting a series called the Actualization Project, where I go into a lot more detail about all of these. But for now I'm just going to introduce them to you and just give you some of the reasons why we should be doing them. So the first thing we need to consider is purpose. Why are we doing the things that we are? Know your core desires and what purpose that leads to. And align your self-improvement to that and ruthlessly pursue your purpose. By doing this, you'll be able to make the most progress that you possibly can, and this will help you keep direction. Before going any further, we need to consider another part of self-improvement, which is critical thinking. To grow as a person, you need to grow as a thinker. And this is something I've not really seen talked about that much in self-improvement videos. I want you to critically analyze all of your beliefs, all of the information you hear, including this video. I want you to become a better thinker. And by doing that, you'll be able to make a lot more progress as a young man. Also bro, take it easy on me. This is still my second video, and the first 100 videos I practice anyway. So this won't be as good as some of my later videos will be. But hopefully it can still be very valuable for you. So we need to consider mental health. Mental health is the foundation for everything. And there are many things we can do in our self-improvement to help our mental health. So one of these things is meditation, which I did talk about in my last video. Meditation can help you to not be affected by your negative thoughts, which is what I talked about in my last video, and that will be linked in the description if you want to know more about that. Because by not being affected by your thoughts anymore, by just noticing them, negative thoughts don't define you anymore. That's something meditation can help with, and that's very useful to your mental health. But something else it helps with is for you to reclaim your attention. Reclaiming your attention is very important for your mental health, as it allows you to focus on the things that actually matter. And it's something that's been very much robbed from us in this modern world. Something else we should do for our mental health is journaling. Now there's two types of journaling that we can do. The first thing is deep journaling, where we write down our thoughts, and this helps us to express our ideas and understand how our mind is. But another form of journaling that's very important is gratitude journaling. This is where you write down things that you're grateful for, and this helps put your mind into a positive frame. Sorry about all the cuts bro, I just need to keep practicing with this. But here's the next thing that we should be doing for our mental health, and for many other things too. NoFap. You need to stop masturbating and watching porn. Obviously this is something that if you've been accustomed to, it'll take some time to stop doing. And I'll make a more detailed video on this, and there are many videos telling you why this is the right thing to do. But some of the things are supporting an exploitative industry, putting your mind into an objectifying frame, wasting a lot of time, messing up your dopamine. There's a video by Andrew Huberman which talks about dopamine too, and how doing these instant gratification activities messes up your dopamine over time, your baseline level, which messes up your overall pleasure and your drive to do things. So that will be something else that will be linked in the description. But something else that's very important for mental health is how we use our time. Linking to that idea about dopamine, we don't want to be spending our time on instant gratification. That stuff that feels really good now, but it's making our life worse in the long term. What we want to do is to be productive all the time. This might sound like a big ask, but in reality it's just doing things that don't worsen our life in the long run. So it doesn't mean you have to be on the grind set all the time. All it means is doing things that are delayed gratification. Things that might be somewhat difficult now, but they improve our life in the long term. By using our time like that, we'll be able to truly value how we've spent our time and not be regretful. Because life is incredibly short and we shouldn't spend even a second of time wasted. Something else that's very important is seeking challenges. Now, seeking challenges means to do things that are uncomfortable. Like for me, filming this video is pretty difficult, but I'm doing it anyway. And the reason for that is that it gives you a sense of accomplishment afterwards. That makes you feel a lot more fulfilled. And that makes you feel a lot happier. And that really does improve your mental health. To improve both our physical and mental health a lot, we should prioritize our fitness. So this means doing some form of resistance training and not neglecting cardio. So learn about form, learn about nutrition, learn about the things you can do to improve your fitness and health. And I will be making videos on this as well. But for now, just know that's something that you should be focused on. Another thing we should do is Looksmaxing. Now, this is improving our looks over time. And I think a lot of people do this for the wrong reasons. And whilst it's great to get more respect and attraction, I think the most useful thing from Looksmaxing, improving our looks, is the boost in confidence you get from knowing that you look the best that you can. And I think that's the reason why it's really important to do Looksmaxing if you feel that's something that helps your mental health. Something very important as well is relationships. You should improve the relationships you have with your friends and especially with your family. Make them the strongest that they can be. If your friends are holding you back in any way, then maybe reconsider those relationships as well. And if you have a partner or considering getting one, make sure that it's something for the long term that's truly fulfilling to you. Because otherwise it will just be another form of instant gratification. And that won't actually be very fulfilling. Another thing we should prioritize is working on our social skills. This will improve our relationships, but will also improve how interactions happen with other people, which will make you feel better about how you've spent your time with others. Another thing you should do is moral self-improvement. This is something I don't really hear that much about, but I think is very, very important. You should know what your moral values are. You should understand why you hold them. You should make sure to align your actions with them. By doing this, you'll be a better person, and your interactions with others will be much better too. Be responsible for things that happen to you, even if they're not your fault. Now, the things that happen to you might not be your fault at all, but how you respond to them is your choice. Make sure that you respond to things in a way that's beneficial both for you and for others. Know your responsibility in the actions you have, and act as an example to others as well. We should try and learn as many skills as we can, so we don't have any regrets about having not learned something. And they also make us a more rounded and valuable person in terms of what we can offer. And they also make you more employable too. So learning new skills is definitely important. But what's even more important, I think, is to learn knowledge. Read books that are useful to you. Consume content that is actually valuable and not just some mindless entertainment. Learn new things and you'll grow as a person. So this has just been an introduction to the different aspects of self-improvement. In my actualization project series, I'll go into a lot more detail about all of them. But for now, this is just the introduction to the different parts of self-improvement. Remember, bro,